Hello, what's up everyone? It's your boy Connor, coming back to you from Slinging Sips on American Coffee Trip. About 15-20 minutes ago, I reviewed this DAC Coffee Roasters single origin Kenya, and unfortunately there was a split in the bag up front, which means that the coffee itself was exposed to the air maybe since it was roasted and bagged. Who knows? All I can tell you is that the coffee was significantly weaker than it should have been. There wasn't that initial freshness and that hit, that wave that you get when you open a fresh bag of coffee. And the bloom said everything as well, right? When I went for my first pour, you can tell the freshness of the coffee by how much that bloom rises. And you get this beautiful expansion of gases that released. And when a coffee is exposed to air for too long, that bloom is going to be insignificant or nothing at all, kind of like what I got. So today, I'm working with another single origin coffee, this time from another favorite roaster that Jacob Alejandro sells. And I went in one day and there was just that one bag of DAC left. So I'm kind of thinking that they're not going to have DAC when I go in tomorrow. The next time I went in, they had these guys, which is not very often I come across the Koppi coffee. They're based out of Helsingborg, Sweden. These guys are based out of Amsterdam, I believe, right? Amsterdam, Netherlands, found by two Canadians in Montreal. So we've got coffee from the Netherlands, and then this is coffee from Sweden. At least roasted in those locations. I'm going to start off and open this bag up. Unlike the DAC Coffee Roasters coffee, when I squeezed the bag and I gave it a little smell test, it smelled like cinnamon. It was phenomenal. Really hit you in the face. The notes that Koppi is claiming are berry jam, pineapple, and candy. I also love the colors, the graphic of this particular bag. I'm a sucker for natural coffees. You know, they take longer. They take longer overall in the production process after you've stripped the cherry away from the, you're not stripping the cherry away from the bean at all. You're actually letting the air dry it out. And that's a much more delicate process than washing. And it brings out different characteristics in coffee. I don't have naturals very often. I love myself a good Ethiopian coffee, and this one is looking to impress today. God, my water's already all set. Let's wait on the coffee. Much stronger smell. I'm going to be going for my usual 20.5 grams. At 20.6, that should account for purge. I'm usually looking for anywhere between a 20 to 20.3 gram dose. So stick that over here. Got my grinder. Lost the bean. I also lost my mic. Hold on one sec. In that last one, the mic wasn't exactly where it should be. It's actually attached to this fruit basket right here. Pretty freaking brilliant on my part. My coffee's ground. My water's ready. Start by heating up the vessel. Take my filter here. Just kind of is freaking shiny. Which is good, because otherwise... Little outside fold there. Grab this. Weigh the vessel dry so you can weigh out the purge after grinding your coffee. Oh, that looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I wish I had more camera angles and more to work with here, but just a simple one-take formula is always going to be in place. It's on the Mark 20. But over time, I will invest in better equipment. So this is what you get. It's going to be very raw, which I expect anything I improve upon in the future to also be the same thing, but just have more to look at in the videos. I know that's something I want to work on. Alright, going in for our first pour. Get that bloom in, get that bloom in. The rise is already much more significant. It's bubbling up right in the corner. I just missed the mark of 50 grams, but that's okay. Doesn't smell like cinnamon anymore. I'm getting more of that candy characteristic. It's amazing how the coffee can smell different. Whole bean from when it's ground. Guys, this is going to be a fantastic cup of coffee, I can already tell. And it's what's called flow. The flow rate is quite good right now. I did my third pour, now we're going in for a fourth. 128, 129, 30. Little circles. Looking at a final output of exactly 300 grams. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. I've never had a disappointing coffee from Koppi. And this one I think I'm the most excited about out of all the two of them that I've tried so far. Okay. Looking at a brew time around 2 minutes 37 seconds. I like to round up and down from the 5-second marker. So let's just say, let's call it 2 minutes 40 seconds. Again, right on the money, exactly where I want things to be. And pour my water out from my brewing vessel, or my cup, my vessel. It's nice and hot. Wow, just look at that color. As the light shines through it. Wow, that's phenomenal. Pour a cup of that. Ooh. Okay. Wow. It's like sweet pineapple and cotton candy, and just there's a vibrancy to this coffee. The tasting notes hold out quite a bit longer than the DAC coffee did, although, you know, that's definitely a result of the fact that the DAC coffee is now out of date as a result of that breach in the bag. Fades a little bit from your tongue, but it lingers. It lingers for quite a while. I should be able to get more once the coffee cools a little bit. And I like to get the vessel that I'm drinking out of hot, especially if it's ceramic. Just so that way I can experience a wider range of the coffee, from the temperature that it's brewed at to when it's cold. You know, I definitely, almost every single pour over I have, it takes me long enough to drink it to where I do get to experience that entire range. From when it's hot, it's still kind of too hot to drink. That perfect, like, hot but not too hot, lukewarm, just room temperature, and then cold. It changes. There's a real dynamic to it. That speaks to just what coffee does, depending on the temperature that you drink it at. And it will also speak to the quality and experience you get from higher quality coffee that has more of a story to tell, at least when you're tasting it. Similar thing with wine. That's a juicy coffee as well. I feel it initially hit the back sides of my tongue, and it rushes to the front after about a second or two. And then there's that linger where it just stays. It's not tart, but it's just like a little bit sweet. This is the best coffee that I've had from Koppi. Hands down. This is something that I'm going to be enjoying quite a lot throughout the week, and I'll definitely make more videos on this particular coffee. I'm actually thinking now that I've had this defect with the DAC and then the defect or just the age of the passenger coffee, then I might just put those two on a separate playlist where it's like Slinging Sip, I don't know, defects. But overall, guys, if you're going to Jacob Alejandro and they're selling anything from these guys or DAC coffee roasters, I don't want to shit on DAC because DAC is a fantastic coffee roasting company and I've had some phenomenal coffees from them as well. Koppi, I think, sets the standard for me, at least to my taste. It's not a cheap bag of coffee. Koppi is probably some of the most expensive coffee that I've bought. But for that money, you are getting something that is truly specialty. You're getting something that every step of the process, time, thought, and care was put into the coffee. So with that being wrapped up, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.